Previously on Dungeons and Dragons.
Retrostar is a game made to emulate the feel of a sci-fi TV show between the 60s and 80s. One of the examples in the book is Family Nuclear. An accident has led to a life or death choice. The family is saved through secret technology in exchange for needing to do jobs. I'm going to be playing alongside you. The game creator himself, Brock Blackburn, will be running it.
So we're going to both be players at the same time?
Exciting, right?
Whoa, dude, we're late.
What?
Look, the show's already started.
Holy cow.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons Season 2. Here we go.
Popsy Franklin Nicholas, Dr. Nico, who is combination absent-minded and oversmart professor, father-in-law of Ellie.
I am Eleanor Nicholas, Ellie as I like to be called. I'm the cool young mother of Davy.
I am Davy. I am a 13-year-old music prodigy with perfect pitch.
My character is Sawyer Nicholas. He's in his mid-20s. Definitely surfer / skateboarder vibe.
You are in the town of Eventide. It's on the eastern shore of a large body of water. It's a little bit of a tourist town, but it also has your locals and everything along those lines. Okay, so Popsy, so we're just sort of a standard sort of 70s sedan. You are at the gas station. There is a bit of a line. Because again, in the 70s, there obviously was sort of the gasoline shortage. So
Definitely want to have that chest mane on full display. Looking if any ladies catch my eye.
So there's an older woman, so we're talking mid to late 40s, early 50s.
Turn on the local disco station fairly loudly. Very casually lean against the vehicle. Little posturing.
Where are we going? North.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
Therapeutic benefit in role-playing games. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, baby. Your presence quested in exchange for treasures.
Are we talking one treasure each?
Count that.
All right, so I got my two best are a 6 and a 5.
All right, so that's an 11. So that is an out-and-out success. So we see you step out of the car. There's some, convertibles and stuff here, and you start cranking your tunes, and you're just like leaning against the car. Maybe you sort of step back, and you're doing a little thing, and everyone starts like leaning out their windows, and they're definitely sort of grooving on the vibe here. And a couple other people get out, a couple like younger kids like jump out of the back seats of their cars, and everyone sort of starts dancing in the streets and having a real fun time. You move up towards the woman, and we see her, and she like smiles at you warmly, and you sort of extend your hand, and she steps out, and you two start doing a generic disco version of the hustle. They couldn't get the rights to the regular hustle. And you have made a new friend, and her name is Beverly. So,
Hey, Bev.
So we see you and sort of dancing, blah blah blah. Let's jump to another character. So we've got you, and you sort of established your scene here. Who do we want to go to next?
Sure, we'll go to Ellie. Why not?
Ellie. Okay, Ellie. So you're in sort of the local grocery store, and we sort of come into the parking lot, and we sort of see, and we come into the store, and you're sort of wandering around with your grocery cart, and picking up supplies. And this is something the adults in the family sort of have a routine that they do. Obviously, Sawyer is sort of dead weight, so he just kind of does what he does. Maybe he gets the lay of the land, but Ellie tends to get food, and you sort of gas up and do your stuff here.
All right.
So you are in the grocery store, and you're just sort of wandering around. Is there anything you want to do here other than just sort of get food for your family?
Let's see. I guess I'll kind of like wander through. I'm not necessarily as flirtatious as the two male counterparts in my family.
Well, no, it doesn't mean you can be as flirtatious as you like, but having a negative stat doesn't make you bad at something. It means it gives us interesting results when you roll dice. So, if you want to think of it that way. So,
all right, fair enough. But no, I guess I'll just kind of like wander through, picking up groceries and different, food, toiletries, different things you're gonna pick up at the grocery store. I guess look around for where this is. I guess a new town. Look around for any, like friendly faces that may interact with me or vice versa.
Okay. So you are just checking out. You're getting, your white bread and the frozen juices to make orange juice and all that stuff there.
Yeah.
And as you're sort of like looking through the fruit, deciding what to get, and a woman comes up next to you and goes, "Hi, I don't recognize you. Are you? You look like you're regular shopping and not a tourist. So are you new to the area?"
Yeah.
She's an attractive young woman, roughly your age, so sort of early mid-30s, around there, sort of dressed, sort of 70s housewife out shopping for the day. So she's made up and wearing some nice clothes. A little bit on the cooler hip side, but not leaning too crazy.
Sure. We Pamela and I moved in just not that long ago, just kind of doing our first big shopping trip here.
Oh, great. I'm Elena, and my family and I, we grew up around here. So if there's anything sort of I can do to help you, it's always great to meet new people here. We get so many people coming and going, during the tourist season. But those of us who live here, we try and sort of watch out for one.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great to hear. Thank you. First off, I gotta find the beans. I gotta find beans for my father-in-law.
Oh, sure. Let's get it. We can head on over to Canned Goods. So, and we'll find some beans there. And I don't mean to pry. I don't see a wedding ring on your finger. Are you? You said you moved here with your family.
And I kind of just like, you can kind of just see like her entire body just kind of slumps a little bit, and I was married. Passed away a little while back, but moved in with my father-in-law, brother-in-law, and my little boy Davey.
Oh, and she, like very kindly and softly, like puts her hand on yours, and sort of in a nice consoling way, and she goes, "Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry." She's like, "Look, let's finish your shopping, and when we're done, we can drop your stuff off, and if you want to come over, and we can, I'll take out a Sara Lee cake, and we can have some cake and coffee maybe, and maybe you and your family can come on over for dinner tonight. It would really be Louie and I's pleasure to sort of host you your first night in town and sort of take some of the pressure off of moving in." So.
That sounds wonderful. I love it. Let's do it.
Great. So you head over sort of to the to the canned goods aisle. Again, it's the 70s, everything was canned, and she's like, "Here's your beans," and stuff like this. So so we go along there. Can you make me a thought roll? Roll number 2.
So that is I've got a -1, so I'm still rolling 2 dice.
So -1, we have a negative die here. Get your 2 dice. So you're gonna roll 3 dice and keep your best 2, or keep your worst 2. Sorry.
Okay. My worst 2 being a 2 and a 2.
So that would be a grand total of 4, which is a fail. So you're sort of wandering around, and Elena is very charming and pleasant and welcoming, and you get up to the line, and she lets you go first, and you guys head out and pack your stuff up, and you've got your bags, and you're probably heading over to meet Popsy at the gas station, as he hasn't shown up here yet, and you see that's just sort of down the road. And as sort of the camera like pulls back, and we notice, like, we see we the viewers, but I'm sharing with you the players, and that is intentional. we see the sort of the cashier kind of give Elena kind of a dirty look as the two of you leave. So, but you didn't pick up on it, but that doesn't mean the players didn't pick up on it. So, all right. Okay. So let's go. Do we go to Sawyer next or Davey?
We can go to Sawyer next.
All right, Sawyer. What are you doing in town?
So being dead weight, I feel that the rest of the family.
You're checking the town out. You're checking the town out.
But I feel the rest of the family might not hold me as in high regards because I'm not really pulling my weight as much as the rest. So right now, I'm actually looking around town for kind of like local events, like maybe like a music festival or something that Davey specifically might enjoy.
Okay.
Because where he doesn't care about what other people think about him, he does care about what Ellie thinks. And lately he's been trying to befriend Davey, as granted he's his uncle, but he's trying to act more like his big brother, to try to get more positive feelings from Ellie.
Gotcha. So we see you sort of down sort of at the section of town that's near sort of the boardwalk and stuff there, and sort of looking around for stuff, and we see a group of late teens, early 20s, so your age or a little younger around there. Some kids are like skateboarding down we hear the sort of thud of the tires on the boardwalk, and they're just sort of riding their weird 70s skateboards, checking out around the boardwalk area. And so do you want to check these cats out? It's a group of maybe like 4 or 5. There's 2 females, 3 males.
So yeah, I guess land traveling preference being skateboarding myself would probably also be skateboarding down the boardwalk.
Sure.
And
So we've watched you. So in terms of camera, we've watched you sort of look around the town, and like you're looking in store windows and stuff. And at this point, the camera pulls back, and we see that in your left hand you had your skateboard. So you sort of put it down and skate on over and kick it up when you get there. And
oh, absolutely, definitely do a little
that, like, hey,
flaring
kid.
trick. Be like, hey, what's up?
And the one guy, African American, 20-something around your age, probably figure like, hey man, what's going on?
Not much. I'm new to town, just looking for I guess just looking for some fun. What goes on around here?
What I mean, I see that you like to skateboard. That's fun, of course. We're skateboarding here down at the boardwalk. Just trying to, just killing time, basically. I think maybe we're gonna have some fun later. So why don't you? Do you want to make a drama roll? Like, what are you trying to do in this scene?
I guess trying to get the definitely get the lay of the land, but specifically once again, like looking for activities that Davey might have fun with.
Okay. So do you want to make a thought or drama roll? Obviously, there's 2 different approaches. Drama is sort of using charisma and getting information that way. That might get you information. Thought is more sort of like a subtle probe.
Being the intelligent person that Sawyer is, he'd probably go with the thought approach.
Okay, cool. So that's you've got, what's your thought?
0.
0. So you've got a thought of 0, and then you've got your 2 dice. You're just going to roll 2 dice straight up and add them together.
I got a 9.
9. Okay, so here's that situation. So with a 9, you have the choice. You can maintain control of your character, but you fail. Or you can give up control of your character and succeed.
I will give up control to succeed.
Okay. So, So we see you and we see you talking, and then you and the group of skaters sort of take off down the boardwalk, like all skating together. So everyone sort of gets on their skateboards and sort of heads off down. And you kind of head off, and we kind of like leave you. We're not quite sure what's happening. Davey, let's go to you. So Eventide School, we see the sign out front, your standard sort of generic square concrete block school, not a fancy like brick school with stuff, just sort of your sort of 70s brutalist architecture. And we see you sort of heading down the halls on this, your first day of school. So what is it you might want to be doing here?
I think first thing I'll do is kind of just scan around and see if there are, like who's wearing what, if anybody's wearing any apparel that sort of screams punk or rock, or if there's any cute girls specifically that are wearing any punk rock gear. Okay.
Why don't you make me we're going to go with a drama roll, because you're sort of looking for like cool kids, where the cool kids might hang out. So what is your drama?
My drama is -1.
Okay, well, makes sense with you being sort of awkward or whatever. You're still trying. So that's going to be a -1, and then you get the 2 dice you always roll. So you're going to roll 3 dice and keep your worst 2.
Keep my worst 2, okay. Okay, my worst 2 are a 4 and 3.
Okay, so that's a 7. So you've got that same choice. Do you want to fail or succeed? So you can fail and maintain control of your character, or you can succeed and give up control of your character.
I think for my character being at this new school and just so desperate to find some sort of new connection, I think I'm willing to give up control of my character in this instance.
Okay, cool. So we see you, and you're like, you walk in, you find you've got your little sheet with numbers on it, and you finally sort of find your classroom. What age are you seeing Davey at roughly? Like, are you like 12, 15?
I was seeing definitely like 15, but
Okay.
that like perhaps a lot of kids at my new schools don't always know how old I am because I change schools so often, and it could be that I'm in a grade that doesn't necessarily match my age because I change schools so often.
Oh, okay, but I mean, there's a different, like 12 is like 5th or 6th grade, kind of young. We're seeing you more sort of on the high school level, which is fine. Maybe you look a little young, but I'm just sort of clarifying where things are. So
yeah, you got it.
Okay, cool. So we see you sort of come in, and we see you sort of, we see like a class in session, but you're not late. Teacher kind of welcomes you in and like directs you to like sit in the front, and you're like looking around, and you see some sort of cooler kids in the back, maybe, but there's only one empty seat, and that is up by you. As you sort of sit down, and we're this is maybe all this stuff is maybe happening sort of during the intro before the credits even roll, and we see you sort of sit down, and you're like looking around, and we see kids with like one kid's got like a denim vest with no shirt on underneath, because he's a cool kid, and then the sort of camera pans out and pulls away. And you've made your roll, and we'll get to what that means in just a minute. Let's go back to Ellie. So Ellie, we see you pull up in a car next to Popsy. Popsy is hanging out, chatting with Beverly. And we see you pull up in the car with Elena. And she helps you sort of take your groceries out. And Popsy's there chatting with Beverly. And so we have this sort of scene here. So what, either Popsy or Beverly, or Popsy or Ellie, what do you wish to do?
So I'm, right now, like, I'm just kind of, helping, well, I guess Elena's helping me take the groceries in and putting them away. And I'm just, I'm looking at, like, we're putting things away in the cabinets, and I'm,
well, no, you're at the car. You're next to, so you were going to meet up with Popsy. So sorry.
Oh, okay, all right.
So Popsy's still sort of waiting here. He's moved up a little further in his car. Sort of the disco's calmed down. He's probably chatting with Beverly at this point still. So she was just dropping you off with your stuff.
Oh, okay, all right, my bad. I thought
I'm good.
Okay. So yeah, I guess like I'll walk over, take my stuff, walk over to Popsy. I see, the disco and everything, like kind of happening and everything. My head kind of starts bobbing a little bit, and you see me groove a little bit on my way over. And Popsy, what you up to?
Welcome to Demons and Dragons.